as upset as you to learn Dexter's 2 and 3. But surely expulsion is not the answer.
I'm afraid expulsion is the only answer. It is the opinion of the entire staff that Dexter is criminally insane.
That boy needs therapy.
I just need a distinguished looking thumbnail. Who knows? This will be a super quick update, a lot shorter than the other ones, the previous two. If you haven't seen them, go back to the start, check them out. Week 1, week 2, now on week 3. Not much else to report. Side effects of Prozac for me have levelled out pretty much completely, apart from the only side effects that I have now is actually side effects that I hadn't even spoken about in the previous videos. I just kind of forgot about it. The most prevalent side effect actually, and that was night sweats. So nothing too debilitating, just uncomfortable. So I'm feeling pretty positive that I am now on my 3rd week and don't want to throw myself off a bridge because some of the more extreme side effects that I've read is suicidal thoughts, and that was the one that sort of worrying me, and as of yet nothing like that. I've not been out much, I've not left the flat much, I've been pretty much, in this time I've pretty much become like agoraphobic, not medically, but just kind of subscribed myself to an existence within the confines of my flat. Just out of sheer comfortability, going outside can sometimes be a bit too real. Not to the point of inducing anxiety attacks or panic attacks. I've never actually had anything as crippling as that, actually, even pre-Prozac. So I don't think I'm particularly predisposed to sort of outward, visible, physical anxiety attacks. I mean, things go on in my head, but I don't think they particularly manifest themselves outwardly, at least to the point where other people could look at me and go, oh, like, that's actually a problem. That's actually one of the biggest problems about any sort of mental health thing. It's like, shh, rabbits are going crazy. Shh. That's actually definitely one of the biggest problems when it comes to any sort of mental health problem. That is this whole thing that everybody says is an invisible illness, and that's true. So while I don't have physical panic attacks, and you can't necessarily always see on my face that there's anything wrong going on in here, any sort of like chemical imbalance, but to you it's high. Shh. But to me it's hyper visible inside my own head, and yeah. So anyway, quick update. Side effects on the 3rd week of Prozac levelled out a bit. Some headaches, but nothing too crippling, as I said. And shh. I wonder. And yeah, just night sweats. But I'm a pretty sweaty individual anyway, so it's nothing I can't cope with. So yeah, honestly, so this is my experience so far. It's honestly not been half as bad as I thought it would be, and I've still got a couple of weeks before the medication's supposed to fully kick in and fully start doing its serotonin stuff to my head. So I'm looking forward to the 6th week in which I will pick up my 2nd prescription, like another 6 weeks prescription. And I think that's the point of time that I should actually see some positive results. That will be the point where I can actually truly measure what sort of baseline of comfortability or happiness the drugs are going to have on me. What I have been told is to not expect it to make me happy. I should just expect it to make me not miserable. So that's something that you kind of need to remember in your head. I think like a lot of people go on antidepressants thinking these will make me happy, and I guess some might, but something on such a low rung on the ladder as something on as low a rung of the ladder as Prozac, you really shouldn't be expecting that to make you delighted to be alive. It really is just going to make you feel more normal, a bit more like everybody else, and everybody else is still capable of having hardships and melancholy days and general feelings of the blues. So don't expect it to just turn your life around, just expect it to maybe act as a sort of primer for your brain to take on the challenges of the world a bit more adequately and efficiently, but don't expect it to make you ecstatic, because that is not what it is going to do. It's just not. So I'm going to admit that. I've came in with low expectations, knowing that when they finally do level out and kick in and start doing the nice little things to my chemicals, that it's not going to make me over the moon happy overnight. It's going to make me better prepared to take on just everyday challenges, like going for a fucking shower. You know what I mean? It's just things like that. So yeah, so I'm hoping I can sort of keep riding this progress train in the positive direction it seems to be going, and I hope you can tune in next week. Hopefully next week my Wi-Fi's been a bit bad, so I'm hoping that this will be up this week, and then the following video will be up next week. There might be some delay, so as my internet is not very good, but I'm sorry about that. It's not my fault. I don't know why I'm being like smug about that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you want to catch the future videos, and like it if you found it at all helpful. The thing about this is it's also subjective, because it's all personal experience, and reading the comments on the previous videos, some people and some of the messages that I've gotten, people's experiences on this are varying yet similar, but varying, yeah, so it's all shades of grey and it's all subjective. I can't tell you how you're going to feel, and you can't tell me how I'm going to feel. That's the very nature of this depression thing. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Love you all to bits, and I hope to see you next week. Mwah.